Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's short video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going way better than fantastic. And your journey to self-betterment is going way better than fantastic as well. Today I wanted to make a quick but an important video. A video I want to expand more on tomorrow in a follow-up video. And I will tell you why in a moment. However, with that being said, a psychopathic demon named Taylor Schabusiness was sentenced today. And for her main charge she was given life without the possibility of parole. However, her lesser charges for this horrific crime she committed, she was given a handful of years for each one with parole. So I'm curious if her defense will try to get the first charge to include parole in the future. And that has to do with the video I want to make tomorrow. Because there were some things said in the victim statements that we need to really talk about. And I believe it will require a bit of a longer video. However, I did want to address one thing the judge said or talked about before he sentenced Taylor. He said that he believed she was loved by her family. Even though later on he talked about the vicious cycle of how things turned out. Since her father is currently in prison for another crime altogether. And I bring this up to say, maybe she did come from a loving wonderful home where some wrong turns were made. But I believe the chances of that being the case is super low. And here's the thing. I don't say that to give her a defense. Because what she did was demonic and evil. Heck. She was knee-deep into Satan worship it seems, and her hero was Jeffrey Dahmer. But here's the thing about narcissistic abuse. An evil that lurks inside of a home. It's so hard to detect by the outside. So when someone from the outside is looking in, they will think, well, it seems like a normal home to me. And that's it. End of story. The only time they don't say that is if a child is living in filth. Or the child is beaten on a regular basis. Or the child is sent to school with dirty clothes and smelling like they've never showered. Or they are hungry. Or their parents are strung out on one substance after the other. If those on the outside looking in don't see such things, you are assumed to have grown up in a loving situation. In a loving home. When we know this is not always the case. The judge also mentioned about her father coming to speak up for her. And that shows she had love. But then the judge mentioned that he was bothered, and rightfully so, that her father wrote the system failed her. When the judge said the raising of a child is up to the parents. So then it goes to, which is it? Did she grow up in love? Or did she grow up in something else? Look. I think it's completely possible this demonic woman unwisely got involved in taking some super harsh street substances. That likely altered her mind. And that might have been the sole cause to her doing what she did. Or maybe she was a born psychopath and her doing these substances made things worse. Or possibly, just like the Iceman. And if you don't know who the Iceman is, look him up. A top-notch criminal psychologist told the Iceman to his face that he was both born and made. You see, narcissistic abuse is like a demonic vapor. It leaves the scapegoats in a life where they are already trying to play catch-up. And the ones that go the way of the narcissist or evil parent or parents, they either end up just being manipulators and getting emotional supply from innocent people their entire life. Or they take the next step. And they graduate to psychopath and they become this. They become this. I just believe when the judge stated that he believed she grew up in a loving family. I feel it was a bit too simplistic and a bit too assuming. Because the demonic vapor often disappears, leaving those they have taken over with a ruined life. And victims they've ruined as well. All as the demon vanishes out the back door. With that said, I want to talk about what the uncle and father of the victim Shad had to say tomorrow. I think it will be important to discuss. But at the end of the day, this woman went full demonic. And she ended the life of an innocent man in one of the most horrific ways one can think about. And the hope is she won't ever be able to do what she did to Shad to anyone ever again. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.